Over 200 Georgetown law students and faculty protested ahead of remarks by Attorney General Jeff Sessions a couple of days ago when he was invited to the campus for a speech about free speech. The students took a knee and later linked arms. Protesters called it hypocritical that Sessions would lecture future attorneys about free speech on campus when the school limited the number of people who could attend the event.
I welcome everyone at this moment to take a knee. Take a knee in the name of civil rights. Take a name in the seat. Take a knee in the name of opportunity. Take a knee in the name of oppression. Take a knee in the name of Black Lives Matter. Take a knee in the name of climate change. Take a knee in the name of environmental rights. Take a knee. Today we stand together, united in solidarity in the name of free speech at Georgetown today. Remember this day. This day is historic. This is another picture-esque moment of what Coretta Scott King mentioned when she protested Jefferson Sessions to the courts. We knew then his record, and we know his record now. He has proven himself over and over again to be against free speech, to be against justice. And today, we take a knee.
As the Chief Law Enforcement Officer for the United States, who is obligated to defend the rights of all Americans, what will he be doing to execute the laws that hopefully change the habits, attitudes, and the hearts of white supremacists, of bigots, and those that commend people that conduct violent actions against non-white ethnicities? I call on Attorney General Sessions today, or maybe some other day, to answer this question.
In his speech Tuesday, Sessions said the universities have become shelters for, quote, fragile egos, and said protesters were silencing speakers whose views do not conform with others.
Thought and speech on American campus are under attack. The American University was once the center of academic freedom, a place of robust debate, a forum for the competition of ideas. But it is transforming into an echo chamber of political correctness and homogeneous thought, a shelter for fragile egos. Well, the president has free speech rights too. He sends soldiers out every day to defend this country under the flag of the United States, under the national anthem and the unity that those symbols call on us to adhere to. So I agree that it's a big mistake to protest in that fashion, because it weakens the commitment we have to this nation that has provided us this freedom.
Joining us now is Kamar Mack, president of the Georgetown University Student Association. So don't you find it laughable that Jeff Sessions makes these comments on Tuesday at Georgetown, yet he is prosecuting a woman who laughed at him during his congressional hearings? She literally laughed. They are prosecuting her for laughing.
Twice, by the way.
That's not true.
I mean, I think, well, in regards to...
Boy, hold on, answer the question. I'm going to deal with you in a minute. Go ahead.
I mean, I think, well, when it comes to free speech, the way I look at it, I think free speech is a two-way street. And I think that, you know, whenever you come to deliver a speech, you have to be prepared to get the different responses that you're going to get from the speech. And I think that protesting is a very valid way to voice your opinion, especially when you have a speaker who, you know, directly affects your community and directly affects those you are allies with.
And you say this speech was limited?
Yeah. So the speech was it was coordinated by a law center professor and meant for students of his two classes and members of his fellowship.
So other students could not attend? Right.
So yes, it was an invite-only, non-transferable event.
So Mr. wants free speech, does not want transparency.
I mean, I think it was a lecture. I mean, I think it was kind of a guest lecture with with the Attorney General. So I think, you know,
right.
I don't know the underlying intentions behind why it was limited, but I think that a lot of students were very much dissatisfied with the fact that it was. Specifically, students from like the Black Law Students Association were particularly upset by the fact that they couldn't attend. And I know the president, Keyshawn Henderson, was very vocal about that. So I think that's
So did you all try to, as an alternative, the protest was fine, but try to negotiate time with the Attorney General after his presentation or at another point in time during the day, because if he doesn't want the echo chamber for political correctness, then this would seem to be a prime time to take on the protesters as well as his supporters in a thoughtful, intelligent manner. On a college campus, or leading college campus, other than Morehouse College, of course.
And perhaps Bennett College as well.
Okay, and Howard,
Look, y'all keep y'all college wars. Answer the question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that even the questions from the audience members were pre-submitted and pre-selected by the professor. So I think
controlled it.
Well, this was free speech.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's different things to note in regards to the setup. And at Georgetown University, the organizer of the event gets to set the terms. So they get to determine the size of the event, who's invited, things like that. So.
Kenneth, you said DOJ is not trying to retry a woman who laughed at Sessions in the confirmation hearing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, what's the
No, 1 second.
Denise Oliver-Rees is the Code Pink anarchist that you're speaking with, who was banned.
Not an anarchist.
1 second.
Who was banned from Congress, or at least being on the at the U.S. Congress back in 2007 when she attacked a Capitol Police.
Okay, what is the current DOJ trying to retry her for laughing?
No, they're not.
Okay, September 2nd, 2017, CNN article. This is the lead. Go to my iPad, please. Shall I go to my iPad? The Department of Justice will retry a woman whom prosecutors say disrupted Jeff Sessions' confirmation hearing for Attorney General by laughing. After rejecting a plea deal, Desiree Ferruz will again face charges of unlawful conduct for disrupting Sessions' hearing in January. I'm not done yet.
Okay.
According to court records, she rejected a plea deal by prosecutors that required her to plead guilty in exchange for a recommended sentence of time served. She was detained after audibly laughing after Senator Richard Shelby told senators at Sessions' confirmation hearing that the then Alabama senator had a record of, quote, of treating all Americans equally under law. Her laughter lasted seconds, and Shelby continued with his speech without acknowledging the disturbance. She laughed.
Okay, so.
Also,
I'm glad you selected the
she was previously convicted of a misdemeanor. Hold on, no, 1 second.
Yeah.
She was previously convicted of a misdemeanor connected to disrupting the hearing, but a judge threw out the guilty verdict in July and ordered a new trial. Again, she was laughing.
When you look at the case, the matter is that the jury foreman stated that we did not prosecute her because of the laugh. We did not find her guilty.
The jury doesn't prosecute. The prosecutors do. But the prosecutors
thank you for clarifying that for me.
Well, you're welcome.
But what I'm saying to you is that the jury foreman said we did not do that because she laughed. We did it for what she did afterwards.
The prosecutors said she laughed. That's why they filed charges.
That's not why she was found guilty.
You know what? The ignorance here is that
Jeff Sessions he wants to talk about the lack of free speech, but Jeff Sessions doesn't like free speech.
He dislikes free speech so much that they disallowed Elizabeth Warren from reading a letter from Coretta Scott King about his record, which was a totally aberrant record.
Final comment, 20 seconds. What will students do next?
Sure. I mean, I think that what we're going to do is be looking at we're looking at leadership specifically at the Law Center, and I think I can speak from the perspective of undergraduates. We're making sure that students have the ability to protest when they want their feelings heard, especially students from marginalized communities, and making sure that there's always dialogue at our events.
Okay, Bob, we appreciate it. Thanks a bunch.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.